with a ton of history.
However, this crossfire just looks a bit too good. Noswell left, and already players going to be swarming his position, so unable to really pull off the miracle that was needed. So first pistol round going to Navi. And whilst we're on the topic and speaking about Ascent as well as his first map pick for them as well, Josh. Now I was speaking to the Navi guys as well recently, you know, may have been having a beverage or two.
Okay.
And I said to Doom Bros, you know, this upcoming matchup, Ascent, very strong map for both of these teams, right? You know, Navi, they love to play this in the past with that FPX core. It's a fantastic map for them, but the same could be said for Leviathan. So I was saying, like, listen, they've been talking all this smack about how strong their map pool is. Why not ban and take away Ascent? But no, he welcomed the challenge. He welcomed it.
And that's the scariest thing, actually, about Navi, is that they just look good on every map that they've played so far.
Yeah.
And I think this map pool looks phenomenal. You're getting both teams at their absolute best map one. And then Leviathan have been second round banning Fracture every time. We haven't even seen it from Navi. So completely untested territory, but an opportunity, I think, for the Navi prep to show. Leviathan, though, on the attack side are no slouches on this map. They like to group and burst through A main, B main, and I think you're going to see from both of these teams the Jet Omen entry. And teams have really refined that.
Shock Dart misses the trip. That's some counterplay.
Great trap.
Yeah, beautiful. Just out of range of the common Shock Dart that would normally remove all of that util. With the classics hoping for a bit of a blessing there with the classic right clicks jumping up to try and take these fights, but surrounded in every single position. So an easy cleanup across the board. 5 players surviving. That means that Prime Gaming flawless. So Navi looking strong.
And Navi have got great weaponry to, you know, lean into their bonus rounds, and it's something that the squad has been doing for a long time. The desk was talking about it, though, this battle between Sugetsu and Shy, we've got to keep track of it as this match goes on. A big difference in terms of their approach to this map, obviously, in the agent selection. But that's going to put a lot of pressure on the Jet battle, too, because you've got to dodge those trips. And Sugetsu's a very crafty player. Bala's been talking about it. All of these guys are putting in crazy amounts of prep.
An early fight. Taken a little bit of a cook strategy, it seems, because it's a pincer. They're just trying to basically collapse onto the top side of mid. But guess what? King ready to contain, and contain he does. 2 kills found for that one. Every single part of that plan, the bonus round cooked up by Navi, just falling.
It was almost over so quickly, it's difficult to tell what the game plan was. Clearly intended to put a lot of pressure on these players in Gelato. But Takolia's entrying stopped that strat in its tracks. Right, instantly getting rid of Zipan in A main, and the threat was essentially neutralized. I love the patience and the discipline from Leviathan in these kind of moments, though. They are not going to allow the 2 players from Navi to get into any unexpected positions, catch them unaware. They stabilize and spend a long time doing it before they finally group up and go for the hit. And it's that balance of thriving in the chaos, but also being very disciplined, that makes Leviathan such a difficult team to deal with. When you watch their most iconic moments, yeah, it can feel like chaos. It can feel like they're not in control of their own destinies. But the amount that they thrive in the midst of that, and then also when you watch them in rounds like this and how clean they are, they've got both ends of the spectrum masterfully covered.
Navi are going to make a go at this one, obviously, with the rifles. They got enough money to buy for the next round. This was their bonus. Very good at managing that economy, but such a task ahead of them in that 2v5. Have to be a ridiculous flick shot, but Shao doesn't even land it. Still into the one-way, spraying it down. Angel can't quite spot that one. Mazzino crouch spraying across to eventually bring him down.
Decent damage, though, from Angel towards the end there. That'll be useful for them. Not the bonus that they were hoping for by any means, but at least it keeps the Leviathan economy suppressed just a little. I think what you're noticing here, though, is that Navi are applying a lot of pressure to mid. On their pistol round, they had a couple of players peeking from Catwalk, they had a couple of players trying to contest from Market, and stopping Leviathan from taking mid control easily. Seems to me like they want to try and force Leviathan to the outside of the map.
सारे पेपर मस्त होंगे रे भाई.
Prowler's going to be
सारे
pushing back
पेपर
up the
अच्छे होंगे.
tackle. Was contained though. Shot down before it could do
मस्त
any
पढ़.
sort of
सारे पेपर
damage.
बढ़िया होंगे.
Nozwa is one away from his ultimate, with the spike in hand, coming over to B main, the area that Taco and King have got under control.
बढ़िया प्रदीप भाई बढ़िया.
There's no opportunity for a repush on Navi's side.
That's a big ult
NAVI
game for
13-7
Nozwa.
my prediction.
Hunter's Fury online. Doesn't need to save it for any sort of lockdown. We'll see if he...
LEV भी अच्छी है. First round में LEV ने
Right
बहुत
for
dominate
main,
किया.
that sees is going to be a good
मेरे को लग
connection
रहा
and
है.
a repeat as well.
LEV के
CNED
chances है.
takes the
NAVI को
fight.
फिर भी close fight
Confidence
देने के.
in spades.
Wait a
Still.
second,
Angels
Angel?
TP'd across. They don't even know it. Cutting across, completely unaware.
That's an unbelievably good play from Navi. I don't know how they quite get the timing for it, but the seize and the repush.
I mean, that's insane, isn't it? Mazzino though, close angle. Oh my goodness, a little bit worrisome, but no, it does at least collect the one kill. Still.
But no real way of salvaging the
No
round.
real way
Spike,
of salvaging
Spike
it.
completely down. Mazzino still 2 away from his ultimate, so no chance of being able to recover it. But I think, again, you're seeing that Navi understand how to get value out of the Omen, and you better believe it, so does Mazzino. But Angel is going to be doing these crazy plays where he's syncing up with CNED, and you get this duo of pressure coming not from CNED and Zipan as you might expect, but from CNED and Angel, and it's going to be the same on the other side, Taco and Mazzino. When they're trying to get into A, you'll see it very clearly, the attacking Omens teleporting in.
Yeah.
But even in that instance of the
Well,
repush on B, my God, I haven't seen that one done before.
It's the crazy thing about Angel. He's perfectly willing to put himself in the line of fire.
He's 5-1 right now. It's working for him. He's actually having a hell of a tournament. But we have seen Angel in the past. When he starts losing the duels, he still keeps taking them. And I think that could be something to keep track of as the series goes on too. With King, his IGL on the other side, he's just always going to give you at least a good performance, if not a great one. With Angel, it varies a lot more. Sometimes he looks like the best player on Navi. Sometimes he's at the bottom of the scoreboard dragging his team down.
Well, util committed there by Navi. Fragment nade to block off any sort of deep A main push. So they have early control of that one, but it's the response from Leviathan that's interesting. Dash activated, looks like going straight into Cat, into the Cloud Burst, and straight into Heaven. If you're not ready for this one, it could do some serious damage, and Takali is looking to try and pincer any players that might be on the site, and he does claim his reward. With Angel falling, it's down to Zipan to still make the most of it. Locked down, still the players onto the site, and that squeeze and wine. Eventually, Zipan will fall.
Amazing pathing. Can CNED do anything about this?
Doesn't have the dash though, still is team going to be joining him. Plant's going to start to go down here, it's a 3v4.
And Nozwa has the ult for the post plant too.
Yep, close. Horn's going to be spawning one of them. King, does he want to try and take this fight? It's the off angle and still come out on top. Turret spawning Sugetsu, has to be brought down. One more bullet will do it. Quick reload and backs away, but his crossfire from Leviathan is just a little bit too difficult to deal with. Drops down the spray, does claim one, but eventually traded, and there you go. Well played by Leviathan.
Great pathing. I love that strat. They've brought it out a couple of times already. They've done it on a pistol round. They've done it now on 2 of the rifle rounds. And no team has been able to put up the right reaction to it. Those players in A main have to be fed the information that that's the way that people are going. And CNED knew he could see where Taka was going. He saw the smoke. But either he didn't feed the info or Angel and Zipan didn't react to it properly because they just got stuck in A main there. Great work by Leviathan applying maximum pressure. And now the economy in danger of breaking for Navi. Can Leviathan put another one on the board?
Crossed up into pizza once more. This knife actually broken. Not too much info. Gain CNED, he overstays his welcome. See the disrespect there and a fast approach once more. Trying to at least apply that. Shao, what is that? Prediction into the cloud burst, but it's just him left standing. King to his knees, are going to be giving all the information as well. Mazzino cuts across with that TP.
My ult is ready.
With the most to do, he is healthy. Shy weak, just trying to hold that angle, and guess what? Not expected. 4 kills in a round for Shy. What a consistent player he has been.
What a performance from Shy. That, I think, brings him 16-1 in terms of first kills to first deaths in the tournament. 16-1. Shy takes fights. He takes more fights than anybody else on Leviathan, and he's playing Killjoy most of the time. And he's winning every first duel.
Yeah, at 18 years of age.
18 years old, a brand new Sentinel player, and currently outplaying some of the best to ever do it.
Navi forced down to the weaker buy. Disrespect shown though. They want the orb, because they want the Blade Storm, and that's what Cened's going to get. A very fast rotation actually, just a little bit of presence. No, it looks like they were second guessing themselves there. Thought they were going to be trying to fast rotate over towards A, but just trying to shore up the defenses into mid. And Leviathan happy to take their time with this one.
They're pretty aware that Navi have been fighting them in mid. And in theory, that should mean that the burst plays into B and A are a little weak, a little easier to pull off because the defense is a little weaker. But look at this read from Angel. He's got 3 players. Zipan coming over as well. That's 4 ready to fend this off. I know it's only Sheriffs in the hands of Na'Vi, but Cened with a Blade Storm and just the sheer quantity of players they got to get through.
Yep. Paranoia rips across there. Ult's going to be denied still. Leviathan do not cancel this hit. They have 45 seconds in the round. Dropping down. King has to make the most of this one, but still Cened at the back of the side, and another flash does push them back, and this is where it gets dangerous. Mazzino has something to say about it. The crossfire set up, immediate reaction from them, making sure to double up so it doesn't get too messy.
Very nicely done from Leviathan. Definitely thought Na'Vi had their chances there. But with Cened not quite being able to maximize his potential in backside. And honestly, just incredible awareness from the Leviathan guys. What I love about watching this team is their protocols are so drilled on the entry. There are always players at the back that are hanging there waiting for rotators. They never get over-flustered and pile 5 people into the site. Very drilled team. Now Na'Vi with a chance to reply. Cened, operator online.
Oh, and he hits the updraft. He's worried. Backs away from that angle. Knife broken, but, well, commits a dash anyway.
And how quick Leviathan are to take that space away from him. But I think Cened will have another bite of the apple here. He's such an aggressive player and one of the most skilled oppers in the world.
It's a shallow angle. That mid control that Leviathan did take, they backed away from it now.
And Xiao just threw a haunt for him in mid, so that's going to give Cened a bit more confidence to get up on this angle again and feed information to the rest of the team.
But it's setting this one up for a bit of an A split. So it seems. Another smoke pushing them back. Prowler gives potentially some false information there. Shy catching that one, so Na'Vi not going to be too committed over towards A.
It actually looks like this is going to be a lockdown fake. I'm not sure whether they'll call it off after King got spotted at Cat. But I could definitely see this being a lockdown fake with Shy and Taco.
Yeah.
They need to wait for long enough so that it's feasible
Spammable.
that King could have gone away from Cat.
It's a spammable angle. Shao's going to destroy it immediately. He's got the Odin in his hands.
Bit of a mistake there,
Yeah,
isn't it?
That's a big slip up. Still, they
It's
want to
still-
apply it. Yeah, just
It's
waiting.
still bait Zipan.
Right into Cat. And they find that opening. They're going to take it down to Sugetsu. Throwing out that neural theft. Gives him good information now. So he knows top mid going to be compromised to a degree. An opportunity for Na'Vi. They can try and play this a little bit fast. The Cened backs away. Someone needs to get rid of that drone. Util in the hand still. Through the cage now. Shock dart up close. And that angle. Not watched for yet. It matters not. Sugetsu tried to cool down the weapon and take the fight anyway. Down. Clearing out the players. All up to Shy. Still one more player to help him out in main. And each player does the job that was set up for them.
So clean from Leviathan. It really is. Even when the fake didn't work, even when Shy makes that misstep, Zipan still bites on it and just faces onto Catwalk, thinking that surely everybody is in B main right now, surely it's safe. And that is the pivotal error that allows Leviathan into the site to set up in those post plans.
And a timeout for Na'Vi.
I don't know how many rounds you really need on the attack side here for Leviathan, but I don't think they need more than 5 to have a great shot at winning this map. Na'Vi are already under pressure, and they're going into an eco round. Bren, you talked earlier about the map veto being a bit of a gamble, but Na'Vi have been perma-banning Haven, Leviathan have been perma-banning Split. There are kind of, you know, different thought processes about that kind of stuff. Should Na'Vi leave Haven open and just try to punish Leviathan? But they allowed Ascent to go through, and Ascent is extremely good for both of these teams. But even among the best teams in the world, sometimes there can be tier gaps.
Absolutely.
And unless Navi are able to respond quickly, you know, round 10 and onwards, Leviathan are at a serious risk of running away with this.
It's always that risk. With the pick bans, you have two teams like this. The favored home ground between them being that Ascent map, so of course they want to be clashing on it, but we'll see. Early days, still 5 rounds on attack for Leviathan so far means that they are in quite a comfortable spot. It's going to be a similar presence and showcase of that utility at the beginning. This time though, Leviathan trying to fight it. Fast updraft there from Taco Leah. Doesn't claim too much more.
One of the other rough things too, actually, for NAVI is that so far we haven't even seen that clutch, chaotic nature from Leviathan. It has been all preparation.
Yeah.
NAVI haven't actually been able to push them, apart from the pistol round, into a position where things look scrappy and players have to step up. You know, King in particular being the player that has done it in the past.
This time only 2 players waiting for them onto the side still. Kill trip's going to be set up here, depending on how they play this one. One of them getting broken, still the one on lane. Sugetsu is going to get suppressed there, I believe, by the knife, so none of his util going to be helping him out. And this player at the back of the side is Shao and Sugetsu bailing each other out. Lovely flash over the top, forces out that cloud burst. Cena's still alive, but he is going to be meeting his match, and still Shao, weak enough. Yeah, the bullet finds the head anyway, a bit overkill if you ask me, just down to Zipan. When he's that low, it's easy pickings.
And this is now the second time that Leviathan have finished B on an anti-eco round. And it's been close. That was still a fairly close round. It didn't look crazy dangerous, but you could imagine that if Navi had rifles, they could have won that. They've got good ideas. And I think that's going to naturally push Leviathan into going for more A finishes, A splits, for example, A bursts, rather than finishing B when rifles are active. The first step, though, is to get through CNED's op again. They were very good at being able to get around that before, but he plucks Taco out of the sky.
That's just counterplay. CNED's been hearing him updraft that many rounds in a row. Backing away, King, though, what a play. Predicting the TP, he knew Angel was getting his little wee legs out of there.
Brings it into a 4v4, and 2 major players taken off the board. No defensive smokes, but also Taco can't dash in and create space for the rest of his team. How are Leviathan going to navigate that?
Grouping up towards A. With all that space that they gained prior. And the setup is relatively weak. Look at that kill trip set up for somebody just to close the door. Drone and a knife to try and clear through most of this one. TP forwards, and guess what? Not shooting with the cam because they haven't even realized it yet, but finally he does. Looking for the spray down to get to, won't get too much done there. They're completely avoiding door. There's the trip. Will there be a kill off of it? There's a seize. Not too much else though. Fragment nade pushes that into an unfavorable fight for King, so he's been taken out.
Very well done. The prep for Navi working, and now they start with the retake.
Yeah, fighting this hard as the plant was going down still. Can the players contain CNED? Watching from heaven. This choke point just trying to get managed right now. Turret's going to be shooting him, eventually cleaned up. Still shy, he's going to be dealt with, and it's all down to Nosworth. There's a knife, 1 kill though for him. Jump peek, doesn't give him the easy shot.
He's waiting for a tap.
Yeah, he's waiting for the tap, needs to hear this one. Finally, CNED baits it out. That's a dart though. It gives good information, has to get broken. Finally now sticking it, CNED. Going for half, Hunter's Fury against the Jet. A brave task indeed. Both shots missing, and half on the defuse. 1-2, tries to sidestep it.
What a clutch!
That is so well played by CNED.
Fantastic stuff by CNED. It is so difficult to hit those shots with an operator. It is incredibly punishing. If you miss it, you've lost the clutch. You have 1 shot. If you shoot too early when they're jiggle peeking, you've lost the round. But CNED opens, and CNED closes. A great round, and showing that Jet prowess.
Oh my god. Just absurd.
With the map pool that we got, Bren, we are going to be treated to a Jet v Jet battle on Ascent and Pearl. Who knows what's going to happen on Fracture, but I'm hyped for it. 2 heavyweights, CNED and Taco.
Despite winning the round, the money situation not looking too good. Having to buy into this one. Straight over the trip, going to be avoiding it. Cloudburst across, and so much util to set it up. The wider swing, guess what? Similar play, Mazzino.
Good work though by Zipan.
Yeah, that was actually just reading that Mazzino was going to be trying to TP up there and ping out the locations on Heaven.
Yep. Zipan's watched the VODs, he knows what's going on. The play still worked, which is the best part about it. And there's the jet battle again going the way you've seen it.
Still a threat. C's locking it down. Nozwa, no sound cues for him. Guy's trapped now and being squeezed from every possible angle. And that right click, I mean, good lord. Plenty of time left in the round at the lockdown. Going to be hopping and skipping, doing a little dance. Celebration time, I suppose, for winning the round.
But what a play, and an incredibly decisive retake from Na'Vi again. I'm loving what we're seeing here so far in Ascent, because we get to see all of the excellence of Leviathan's drilled executes into the site, but then we also get to see Na'Vi, the flair from CNED, the disciplined retaking, the game plans for how to get value out of Sugetsu.
And the prep as well.
Yeah, this
Zipan's
prep,
kill here.
so good.
Obviously, that play being made in a series before, actually. Mazzino doing the exact same thing, so
Yeah,
punishing that.
Actually, by the look of it in the replay, Sugetsu might have got a tag with the knife, with the cam too.
Right.
So maybe that was helpful as well for Zipan.
Potential to draw it even for the first half. Na'Vi just one more round away from accomplishing that. CNED is going to get pressured though off that angle. There won't be a repeat. Instead, he repositions into B main.
We've seen Navi's ideas in B main already be excellent.
3 of them. Armbot's broken. Spam into the corner.
And that is a position that Shy loves to play.
He
Shy
does.
taking
Takes
the battle.
fight and he wins it.
That's another first kill for Shy. He just can't lose those. 17-1.
A desperation, Angel just tanking the drone, standing wide out in the open. Dash forwards now. There's one player at the back of the site, that's Xiao. Got to do the most. Okay, 2 kills. Will he get a third? He's already done quite a lot for them. Nightfall now, scatters. Prowler going to be latching onto 1. Positioning, no, and 3 kills. What more can he really do? And this has put the pressure on Leviathan. It was looking so favored for them, but King and Takolia, they've been in this position before.
But they are so trapped. They can't fake like they're going anywhere. Everybody from Na'Vi has them. And when this plant gets tapped, or when the plant goes down, Na'Vi are going to capitalize. Oh, that's a really badly missed nade there from Zipan. It was supposed to bounce.
They do get the plant down though. Born now, pressure, counter spam play, doubled up though, they punish it, Taco! The reaction, left to that 1v1, Xiao! He set them up, but can he finish it? Such an important round, 5 bullets. No sound cues being made, trying to fake the drop. Finally does it, and he lands it! Unbelievable! 5 kills in the round, and he's drawn his team even.
Xiao has been unkillable this tournament. Unkillable. I was looking at his stats before the series began, and it's just absurd.
Yeah.
He's winning 72% of his duels, on pace for that again, and throws an ace in there too. Not a single player can stop him. No one he's faced so far has been up to the task, has been up for the challenge.
Rabbit not ace. Gotta be kidding me.
That is an absurd clutch to put Na'Vi at 6-6 in the half, and they needed it.
Top of the scoreboard for Xiao, but that's going to be the first half dealt with. Let's send it down to the desk to break it all down.
Thank you very much, guys. What a half that was. We talk about preparation from both teams, and Bala, we did see some really cool stuff on both sides.
Yeah, I think Na'Vi started off really strong with the prep, and then Leviathan comes in. So I wanted to show a round from Na'Vi that was really cool and shows the insane teamwork that this team has that led to kind of a nice start. This was that B main round where Xiao throws the C's. Not only is this for info, but the decay, and obviously the C's too, finds Taco. So that's the cue for them to swing. He's using a Prowler. CNED gets in there, and with the C's as well, they're obscuring the noise, and that's how Angel gets the TP in and is able to clean up Taco.
Navi has some really good stuff, but I also feel like they failed to counter out some of the set plays that we've seen from Leviathan before. They've done this setup multiple times throughout this event, and it's excellent, right? You're splitting through, you're breaking timings. It's very difficult for the Anchors to win this out, but I feel like for Navi, they were struggling a little bit with the comms in that situation. Angel is trying to worry about two things to help his teammate Vayne and also worry about the flank. They get a little bit flustered and lose out on that one.
Yeah, and I think it's CNET there who's supposed to be able to hear him and calm to Angel that they're coming behind him. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like multiple situations right now, they're struggling with the communication. And Sue, you were talking about starting on attack for Navi consistently. That maybe is where you can get a little bit more of that communication where it's 100% necessary to make those calls.
Still, I feel like they are running into a big issue here because Leviathan have found a fantastic half.
6 rounds is no
absolutely excellent here on Ascent. And Leviathan is a really good team on the defense. Shy especially, already popping off this map. Now he gets to be that killjoy on the defense, lock things down with his utility.
Was very good start for Leviathan here, but like you both said, Navi, they're one of the best teams in the world. If anyone has the secret into coming back into this, it is them. Let's get the second half underway and back to your casters, Sideshow and Brent.
6-6, they may have just done enough for it. Because at the end of the day, when we think about Ascent as a map, you know, that attack side can always be difficult for some of these teams. But listen, an even scoreline will be what we head into that second half with.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Shao is just unkillable. Look at that stat at the bottom. A KDA of 3.56. And then look at what he's been putting up right now, 15-7. You expect it to go down playing against better teams, but right now, he's playing a blinder. Here we go, big play.
And it's an immediate punish.
Yeah, the recon dart just a bit too slow there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, Navi are all set up for it.
Trying to get a kill now, flooding straight through into main. I believe there's a paranoia waiting. No, it's a smoke. Mazino looks like he wanted to just jump inside of it, and indeed he does. Exploration towards that area, and now he gets all the info that the rotation is abound.
Yeah, that's bizarre, actually, that they make so much noise. Oh my word, Sugetsu getting more than he's ready for as Mazino takes the timing off the footsteps. And now as Sugetsu knows that they've cleared out B main, he makes the comm, hey guys, maybe we should go back.
And
they think we've
way.
left.
Yeah, walking all the way.
I'm not sure whether that was a deliberate sound bait. It seemed a bit too committed on the rotate for me, but nevertheless, a very nice audible and mid-round decision from Sugetsu and Angel.
It's left down to Mazino. Just outside of the smoke, bullets going wide there. Does have a couple of the paranoias, but guess what? Shy's backing him out, and a deeper smoke now so his team can actually start playing together off of this, moving forwards. Still have to deal with that B main presence because guess what? Sugetsu is there still. Shoulder's going to be seen. Mazino takes the fight, running up to him, jumping right click this time to no avail. But eventually cleaned up. That's going to be the trade. So moving forwards now. 2 players from Navi at the back of the side. Angel lucky he didn't get his head ripped off. King's going to be aware of this one. Just clearing it out. Shock dart. No one close. Still Zipan. Going to be watched for a double swing. That's Zipan once more. Nozro can't hit the flick, and Navi getting that pistol.
It's a big pistol round. Said it before, but 6-6 is pretty important. Being able to get one on the board there favors them in this attacking half, and that's both pistols in the map, one for Navi. I think the crucial kill there is, honestly, the KO battle. King coming through, very aware of the angles, and really cautious about it too. But when it just came down to the straight-up aim duel, couldn't quite land the shot.
So Navi going to be opting into that famous buy, managing their economy. You can see that's a Bulldog, 2 rifles online, 2 ghosts on Sugetsu and Angel.
It always puts them in such a good spot.
Yeah, if they win this round, which you know usually they do, salvage the rifles, bring it up, and then you're going to be on even footing when it comes to that bonus round.
It's a similar kind of setup on the defense side for Leviathan here. Running Takolia and some kind of presence in Pizza. A dash through, Shy tries to go forwards. There's a very rare first step.
Oh my goodness. Dash forwards from Taka to punish. Shorty in play. Met his match, Sugetsu. 1 shot to the head will do enough.
Extremely clean.
So clean.
And the rifles are going to get recovered there, so they still keep 3 into the next round. And for Navi, they are still really good on the attack side. That's one of the great things about watching both of these teams on Ascent. They have a fantastic understanding of how to get into sites and then how to hold sites so that the retakers can't immediately swarm upon you. But on the defense side, I'm not sure I've ever seen someone as good at anchoring A as King is. I think that's part of why you saw Chet and Artist tweeting about him being the best player in the world. We'll see whether Na'Vi want to opt into challenging that A defense at some point, because it looks like this could be an A split.
Setting up for it.
It's a very nice 0 point from Zipan there, because it clears out the area of the map that CNED is going to without Zipan having to give up his position.
Prowler broken though. Taco immediately backing up there to Heaven. Threatening as well into mid while all this is happening. That's just the presence towards Cat, trying to draw those rotations. While Na'Vi claim the rest of the map straight through the middle into market now. Nozwa spots the one, cancels it. Almost getting that spam kill, but now they're really just starting to turn up the heat, aren't they? Flooding into that site. How does Shao get that one?
There's been so much damage done.
And it's just that pressure straight into mid! Angel! He's been doing it all tournament long. And Nozwa just going for that desperation spray through the wall. Matters not.
What am I watching?
Yeah.
Angel in this tournament is a man possessed.
Show me this again.
These aren't possible kills to get.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
I mean, he is just wide swinging some of the best fraggers in the tournament and deleting them. And I think this, you're seeing it here. The feast or famine playstyle that Angel has, when he feasts, he just leaves the match engorged. He's crazy.
Good luck trying to get to the top of the scoreboard if you're CNED or anyone else.
And because Angel is just so happy to take duels like that.
Yeah.
When it goes badly for him, as we've seen in some previous tournaments, it can really hurt his squad. But when he's popping off, he just pulls out ridiculous stuff on the regular.
So a timeout is going to be pulled out of Leviathan, looking to try and contain some of this damage that's been done to them. It's not too far of a lead so far just for Na'Vi, but this could very rapidly get out of their hands, especially because this Leviathan, they were knocked down to that half by now.
Yeah, and if Na'Vi take this map, it's boding extremely well for the series. If you can beat Leviathan on their best map, and Na'Vi have a deep map pool, they're probably taking this.
Yeah.
That's why this first map is such a cool litmus test for both teams. You get to see them both up right at the top of their strengths.
Clash of the Titans.
And right now, off the back of Na'Vi winning both pistols and now the second half bonus, they're looking to be in control, I would argue, for the first time in the series. First time in the map.
One-way setup, no noise being made here. CNED just making sure that he takes a high ground position. Jumps down as well, off the back of that flash. Horn catching the position, 2 players. Spammable there. A lot of the players just backing up.
That's
all the way into tree.
How quickly CNED runs in.
Yeah. It got even more as well. As soon as that door's broken, fragment nade, pop flash play as well, and it's just buying even more time. Dash forwards though. Viatan looking to try and take some space with that one, cut up the crossfires, but don't really have the tools for the job on that half by round. At this point, just hoping to maybe get a rifle or 2, take some guns out, but you don't want to be giving any ults or points as well, so dying to the spike is going to be the best play they can make.
I mean, look at the Na'Vi economy. They're going to be able to buy for so many rounds into the future. They're almost going to be maxed out.
CNED knows.
Well, 1 kill, but it's really not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
CNED's already sat at 6,000. He was going to be money capped heading into the next round. They can afford an attacking AWP if they want to go for it, although I don't know really why you would. CNED's been so great there. Oh, he goes for it anyway. Fair enough. Adding a different flavor into the half. But I love that utility combo at the beginning, and it showcases how well prepared Na'Vi are. I feel like what we've seen from Na'Vi in the tournament so far is perfection through preparation. By putting in so much prep work, and Bala's talked about it too, it's not just from Angel and Doombros, it's from each player perfecting the small micro adjustments to their utility.
Fight to be taken though, CNED.
He
wants it. He wants it. Cloudburst across. CNED's going to be wondering, okay, is he still pizza? Did he back away? But
CNED also knows that Taco is not opping. The economy did not allow for it.
And an important round for Leviathan to try and get ahead now because he bought into this one fully. Alarm bot. It's going to be triggering, backing away though, so pulling that util out of mid. Really slow around by Na'Vi, understandable when they've got that operator. Can't really take things at a faster pace.
And look how safe in spawn Nozra and Taco are. Because this is where Angel decided to wide swing them previously.
They're just waiting for it. Dart's covered up. Some hope of maybe just a bit of a warbang angle there to be found if it lit up any players.
At any point, this can pivot back through Catwalk too. With Zipan staying in Gelato in A main, they can go back and make this an A split whenever they like. And that is going to put pressure on King. He's already used that nade.
The pressure so far has formed diamonds out of King. And this guy, he's willing to stand up to the challenge. Horn spotting him out though, backs away to the safety of Jenny. And he's got the backup of the rest of his team still. Navi will swarm the site. Can the angle be watched for? Mazzino, again, can't quite get it, but it is traded out. Taco, knives out, right click, wow, shells down and out. And no more time to plant the spike. That's the danger when you run down the clock in that fashion.
Great defense from Leviathan, but it's not King. I mean, I suppose he gets the first, which is a great shot. But it's mostly the other players that come in to try and bail him out, Taco in particular. This position over at Heaven takes down Zipan, who's the only player in A main, and once that threat is neutralized, I mean, what a great decision to dive forwards and give your own life to deny the plant, to make it easier for the rest of your team. Selfless jet play from Taco. Gives them the round and a buffer to their economy. They need to put a couple of those together.
Yeah, that's only the first stage of this grand plan if they're to try and come back into this map and bring it up even.
I think also what you're seeing from the A defenders, King in particular, actually Mazzino as well in the prior round, is that they're getting caught out a little bit by that haunt. The haunt that lands on top. Oh, and Sugetsu just blazes down Mazzino. Does King choose to anchor this? Or
No
leave?
choice, man, no choice. No time like the present still, Taco. That Heaven angle, drops down, has to take the dart out though. CNED holding inside the smoke. What an intelligent reposition. Now you're going to see that damage being done, still fight being taken. Tackalier just opened himself up a little too much there. Navi assuming the post plant position. Leviathan's economy not in a good enough place where they can try and fight this one. They have to back away with the rifles they've got. And so Navi going to be finding themselves on that 11th round, one step closer to potentially claiming the map.
It's a very different style of attacking on Ascent, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from Na'Vi. And I think it all comes down to how well they've integrated CNED into this team. Do you remember when we heard the post-match interview? I believe it was from Shao, where he said, at the beginning when CNED joined Na'Vi, he was doing Ascend things. He was running in, he was getting over-aggressive, he was fighting when he probably shouldn't. And now he looks like a drilled, but still aggressive part of this team. Every time that Na'Vi creates some space for him, he takes it. And he goes exactly to the limit and no further.
He's found a balance.
He's found a wonderful balance under the tutelage of the rest of these hyper-disciplined players. Zenit getting inside the smoke is such a good move.
Yeah.
And it's the space is created for him by a tag from the Cypher Cam onto King. So he's forced to get somewhere safe and pluck it out. It's just all hyper-intelligent.
Really drawing out that economy. Mazzino forced down to that full armor frenzy. Not ideal. Just got to start now. This round here. Navi so grouped up. Looking to try and take that fight. Cam doesn't spot it. I think Taco might be revealed ever so slightly. Knife against the side. No chance of him reactivating that dash. So has to play a bit more passive, a bit more patient, but plenty of time to strike, maybe take that fight. Nanoswarm at his feet. Just pushing him back. Even a drone as well tagging, but this is a different approach, isn't it? Updraft play right into market. Shy finishes him off.
Good work. I mean, not a bad play by CNED by any means, but Shy spamming into the smoke finds his head. Another first kill, by the way. I've stopped keeping track at this point, but a pivot into Mazzino. And this is the player with only a frenzy on board, so he can't really hold on.
Does not have the gun for it. Oh, that util, look at that, even the C's as well, making sure that the smoke's clear. There's not going to be any funny plays happening. So diligent from Navi, even when they're a player down.
Big ults though for the retake. Null command lockdown.
And you start to see it being used, lockdown up close. an awkward one. Anything to try and break it? Doesn't seem likely. Haunts gonna get taken care of, but you have to respect this one. So evacuating, backing away. I think some players are gonna get detained potentially. Yeah, looks like it. TP across will not save Angel. One more player though. Sugetsu on Cat with Nosworth fought and claimed despite getting stuck. Too much to do for the Sentinel player of Na'Vi.
Very good round by Leviathan. Finding that first kill with a spam into a smoke is one thing, but when you look at the positioning of Na'Vi there, they came through Cat and they left Sugetsu, and the two players that were playing post-plan, they were actually ready to fight right here if the lockdown was used in tree. That's what Na'Vi are thinking about. Oh, they have lockdown. They're gonna put it tree, let's fight there. And Shy instead using it over at Heaven means they can't really go for it.
Yep.
They neutralized Na'Vi's counter-attack, and Leviathan take another very important round. They're still 3 behind, and they've yet to actually put too much pressure on Na'Vi's economy.
They've still been building up the bank and buying space. Taco, wow, that's such a brave fight, man.
Yeah, there's a small line between bravery and foolishness, though, isn't there? That he didn't have any support for and swung into a couple of Na'Vi players. Is King really going to go for this again?
I mean, this is just absurd. Spots one, shot found, but Ken, just Na'Vi. They're not going to let that go unpunished. But it's just pushing all over the bloody place. That was, where was that from? But it's just pushing all over the bloody place. That was, where was that from?
What?
A wallbang angle from there?
What an insane wallbang position.
There's no way. Where was that even from? Through the gate?
Yeah, it's through that kind of gate area where people use, you know, breach aftershocks, etc.
Oh, you are kidding me.
I mean, that's nutty. I don't think I've ever seen a kill through there in a match before. Shy was incredibly weak. The weird part is that actually has allowed Nosworth to pick up Shy's weapon. Nosworth only had a pistol in this round, so it hasn't actually made too much damage to Leviathan's defense. But Na'Vi showing the same discipline that we were crediting King's squad with in the first half. They play slow, they allow the defenders to wonder about where the action's going, spread out around the map, and they've guessed incorrectly.
Yeah. Night 4. Across the front section of the map. Sugetsu going to be claiming his place there onto the one side of B main. This is, again, just the levels applied to the game plan. Shock Dart, bit of chip damage onto Zipan, but now the play needs to be made. No command. Rips his way across, util combos, and the Horn not dealt with Mazzino. He was lit up and an easy target. Nosworth left into that 1v3, Cam spotting him. And Sugetsu more than ready. 4 in the round. What a playmaker.
Wow. I've got to give full credit to Sugetsu and Xiao. Their utility. The amount of times we've seen Leviathan getting blown up by a Haunt and shot through a smoke or something. Oh, here's the wallbang angle too. Look at this. Pull this one out in your games.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. It's also a very good angle for an Odin spam too. But yeah, I've got to give full credit to Sugetsu and Xiao, because I'm looking at this Na'Vi Ascent comp, and it differs from the meta in 2 crucial areas. They're not running a Sova, although that's not too crazy, but the Haunts have been getting absurd value, and Xiao's fragging is also unbelievable. So Xiao is absolutely demonstrating the reason for that fade pick. And then Sugetsu's Cypher, in theory, works very nicely against Taco and the way that they entry into sites, but it's more than that. It's so much more. Sugetsu's getting value out of cages on the retake, and this constant cam pressure keeps tagging people around corners.
It's a weird thing to talk about.
It is, but it's actually working.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of information.
They've tagged Mazzino for him to get killed during his ultimate. They've tagged King for Cena to push into the smoke and push him back. They're tagging many players at many times. And I think here you're seeing, you know, the different value that a player like Sugetsu can get just by playing hyper intelligently around his agent. And the setups on defense were also fantastic too. 4 map points for Na'Vi on Leviathan's pick. On the map where Leviathan looked like the best in the tournament. Well, we might have to be adjusting those notions.
Change your expectations. Taco though wants to extend the playtime a little bit on this map with a kill like that. Lovely shot. Sugetsu removed.
It frees up flanking if Taco wants to go for it aggressively in the round. He's got his Blade Storm online, of course. King on a tiny angle.
Yeah, that's, I mean, just pixel angle. Nade as well pushing back that presence. What's the call being made? A lot of time still in this round. A one-way smoke means there won't be anybody pushing through that anytime soon, but Navi decide to cut noise.
That's big. You know that CNED is still there. I love the fact, though, that they're pressuring King's nade out early.
Oh, deep dart, though, through B main. Now they know it's got to be that A-split. So King, again, has to be the man of the hour, holding close that first line of defense as they're already trying to apply that pincer move. And a pop flash play. It is a dodge from Angel, but only bringing King down to his knees as the Hunter's Fury rips its way across. Stops the rest of the Navi players from swinging through main to try and help him out. 25 seconds left. King's not going to be able to get rezzed in the midst of all of this, but it is that 2v4.
Big ultimates have had to be used here for Leviathan, but it looks like they're going to be able to take this round. Navi probably just looking to do damage to the economy here. And Mazzino wants to keep this weapon.
Yeah, you got to keep these rifles in the economy. You've got to be honest in this one, guys. Back away. There's no way they can win the round. But at that point, there was just pride on the line, is what it feels like. Maybe get a couple of kills, you know, get the confidence going for that one. Still, 3 rounds is what's going to stand between them. Either losing their map pick or potentially bringing it to that OT.
Nice adjustment from Mazzino there on the A defense, breaking the haunt so that King could hold a close position. We talked about Shao getting tons of value out of his utility. It seems like Leviathan is starting to adjust to that. But if you're starting to adjust in round 21, oh, that's a little late.
A little rough. Fragment over the top, and there's that again. Waves of utility that are so damn punishing. That was a seize fragment. If that caught anybody holding that common position, they would have been toasted.
And that is a spot that King likes to hold at the beginning of rounds, and then he drops back to Generator most of the time. So a bit of a pump fake from Na'Vi.
They do love to do it, mixing in a couple of noise cuts as well, making sure that they can throw off the opponents. Down to that minute mark in the round, so everybody of Na'Vi now grouping up towards B.
Shy is in a really safe position right now, just jump peeking mid. Angel's going back sight in the hopes that he might be unhurt.
I mean, TP's boathouse there, maybe for a bit of information, I'm not too sure. Still cam up top going to be dealt with, and, well, there was a dart, horn, removed, still the dash forwards. The play not being cancelled, instead Na'Vi want to take the fight straight to them, but already losing a player, being one down at the back of the site. Going to be matching them, and there's a bit of pressure being relieved. Mazzino TP's into the back, and he's got that paranoia. Sent flying right through Cat, needs an upgrade though. Looking to the back of the site, Noz was being destroyed. There's 15 seconds left in this round and it could still get dangerous, but absolutely magnificent. The prediction shot into the cloudburst, knowing exactly where the players were going to be placed.
Na'Vi had 4 chances of winning this map and dealing a mighty blow to Leviathan. And they've squandered 2 of them. Leviathan just looking so good there. Shy is constantly spamming into these smokes. I mean, and the amount of times that he gets it perfect. He just times the dash and knows the duration, knows the distance immaculately.
Owner is just so animated, that guy.
Wouldn't you be if you were coaching in this match?
Yeah. No, I'd be stoic. I'd be like Mike. We sat there.
I'm not saying that this is a must-win map for Leviathan. We don't know too much about Fracture, and Taco went crazy the last time they played Pearl. So it is feasible that things could still go to 3. Maybe Leviathan could still win, of course, if they lost this first map. But I think most roads to a Leviathan victory start by getting to OT and winning here.
So it's forced Na'Vi to take their final timeout, at least of the first and second half. Discussing what to adjust here, because rapidly running out of opportunities to close this out. 2 more available to them.
Shao's picked up an Odin, and that makes me think that that timeout is him discussing with the team. I think we can punish Nozwa early on. Nozwa, though, not actually running an Odin in this round. So probably not going to be in the same position, although he has been holding, you know, Recon Dart, Shock Dart, And he is jumping up there.
Oh, yeah. He's on the line. So, biding their time, waiting for the dart, I think, actually. Dart, any sort of spam? No. Unlikely.
Shy looking for another one of those first duels that he's been almost immaculate at, swinging off his turret, but just gets the info that CNED hadn't gone aggressive into B main. This is slow, cautious from NAVI, prodding around the map as the tension builds.
I have the spike.
And the hope is that tension eventually will cause Leviathan to crumble a little bit. Maybe misstep, but so far they've been up for the task in most of their series when they've been on this global stage. No strangers. So it's really tense situations in this Pixel Angle King. He's held here before. Prowler in his face though, forces that. So the nade's going to be used to try and push them back. Now Mazzino, hell of a task. Paranoia cuts his way across and a smoke as well through main. Just pushing through, there's nothing else to really help it out, but Mazzino once more laying claim to it. CNED though, forcing the issue, isn't he? Pushing all the way past Jenny. Cloudburst up top. Angle created. Taco though. The operator, it's so hard. And CNED, man, he's taking the fight right to them. Blade Storm in his hands, punished with the shorty.
This is everything for
Taco,
Taco.
he's got to do it. Right here, right now. It's got to be that 1v2, and it's just not possible. Map 1. Completely finalized and finished up there. NAVI, what a way to do it.
Incredible scenes there from NAVI. Everything from their preparation to especially the way that they used their utility and got CNED into positions on the attack side. Very impressive. CNED coming up with the goods towards the end as well, when things looked like it was possibly going to OT. That is a big blow for Leviathan. It's probably the best map that they've demonstrated a lock-in, and NAVI have stolen it away.
Stolen it away and more. We'll see if they're capable of being able to bounce back. Of course, up next, that is that Fracture map. So, you know, that's going to be interesting to watch here. But some of these highlights as well. I mean, Angel, this guy just, again, towing that line between feeding and really just pulling off miracle plays.
But he has been miraculous so far at this event. I mean, no one has been able to punish Angel in the same way that we've seen at prior events. Look at the frustration on Ona's face. I think that says it all. The next map is Fracture. Leviathan have been banning it second round every time. What do these teams have to bring there?
Absolutely. Well, map 1 done and dusted, but still even more to come as we head into Fracture coming up right after this.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind.
NAVI, they continue their win streak as they take map 1 against Leviathan. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Mimi and Bala. This is the second and only time Leviathan have ever lost on Ascent on an international tournament. And Bala, it is against Angel and Co. once again. They just have their number.
Yeah, on Ascent too, where they look so good in earlier stages of the tournament. I think Navi just has their number, like you said, and it's because of the things they're doing. In my opinion, Angel in that map, the calling that he was doing, and again, the prep that every player is putting into that Sugetsu wall bang, the Shao ace. There's so many moments that you're just like, this is too easy for them. And there's one in particular that I'll show later that just Angel, it's the type of thing that you see from him constantly.
Yeah, it was a great map from him. And I think the way that Navi defaults on this map is so excellent. Because you could see multiple times where Leviathan wants to fight forward, they want to go for some gambits, take space on this map, but they were never being allowed to do so because Navi was so oppressive. And when Navi eventually went for these executes, it was so good as well.
Yeah, and they throw a little fake here towards short. But what I really want to do is bat chest about Angel, because this guy's a boomer like me. And I know Josh the other day was talking about King and how, you know, he made Vitality bend the knee. But what is a King to an Angel in moments like this? Because he is just ridiculous. He walks up mid. There's this right here is Josh was shocked about it. Bren was shocked about it. Everybody should be shocked about this because he almost broke his wrist doing that. And it's so nice because he gives you that explosivity that's not a word, by the way, but I just made it up, that you really have against Leviathan when they're the type of team that relies on that sort of thing and not the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, the way that he plays on this map in particular is just so good because he's so willing to just like go for a solo play, double TP in. Anytime he sees a gap in a defense, spots a player out of position, he'll TP in, he'll close the gap immediately and pop off. And it just opens up so many options for calling in the mid round. That was just beautifully done by Navi. 6-6 at the half. We thought they were out of that one, but you can never count at their attack side.
He only does things that he can do, I feel like. No one else does the things that Angel does. But there's another guy that was also popping off as well. It is Shao here in our Verizon high-speed moment of the match. The ace, you guys had that debate between King and Shao. And Bala, when his team needs him the most, he does this.
This is ridiculous. This is 2 bullets. He just shot 2 bullets. He kills 2 people and then continues to swing once the rest of his team is there. The patience for him to chill for a second as well. That's insane. But it comes down to a 1v2. And I mean, Sue, you were talking literally while this was happening. Oh, it's Shao. It's Shao. It's
He's
Shao.
gonna win it. Yeah, he wins these. He wins these. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like he always does. For Navi, I think it was those clutch moments on the defense that, like, it was moments of that got them into the game. But what closed it out was Angel and the calling on that attacking side. And for Leviathan, in the pre-show, I was like, they've never had a half thus far where it seems like they are completely locked out. That's exactly what happened here. Despite taking multiple timeouts, they never were able to find a solution to what Navi was throwing.
They're gonna have to dig deep here before map 2. Let's get a warm. Take a look even in the warm up of the Aim Lab shoot around with King this time. Mimi, you spoke a lot about him, what he brings us to this team. How much do you think he needs to get his team together and step up going into Fracture?
I mean, I think a lot of it is going to be on him and also on kind of his ideas during the offseason. It's been a long time since we've gotten to see this team play on Fracture. We never really got to see them play it at Champions. So this is something where he's going to have to come in, have a really good idea of as a caller of how he wants to play this map, and actually this time succeed in outcalling Angel, which, as we've talked about a lot, is very difficult to do.
Yeah, and I think what was really tough as well was Navi put themselves in such a good situation. In that second half, you had to give them so many opportunities to have that match point. They were so calm the entire time. You have to be pressuring them. And I think one thing that is really good about this series from Navi, and just in general, is the way that they work the map pool. I mean, Josh was talking about how Fracture is kind of an unknown quantity from Leviathan, but for Navi, it's been a strength for them in the past. And they really haven't been relying on it. So the way that they kind of make their pick really flexible is a strength that they have that other teams aren't really willing to do.
Which, I mean, I'm sure that made it quite difficult for Owner and for King to figure out where they were going to go in this map pool, how they wanted to prep for this one, but I'm sure they knew that Fracture wasn't going to be a possibility. Now the question is, what have these teams answered in the offseason? What is the composition they're going to run? Because previously, both these squads, we've only really seen it in the chamber meta.
Well, let's have a look here in the Prime Gaming Agents Select. We don't really see Leviathan play at all this map, Bala.
They played a little bit in the offseason, but one thing I want to know for sure right off the bat is what is Navi going to go to? Because in my opinion, the Omen comp is dead with the new meta, with the way that...
They do it anyway.
They do it anyways. And the reason I say that is because the one-way in A main is gone. The one-way in so many positions are gone, and they go for it anyways.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see them go back to that one. Leviathan also running a double controller comp. But what I'm interested in is CNED versus Taco on the race. Both these players, known for their jet, have looked fantastic on it thus far. And I think there's going to have to be a bit of proof for both of them if they can be adaptable. Yeah.
Well, map 1, that was all Navi. Let's see if Leviathan have what it takes to get back into this, Josh and Brent, and take us to a map 3.
Wouldn't that be something special? Map number 3 potentially there, but for the Leviathan, a massive task ahead of them here. On their opponent's map pick, got to bring it all the way back for that chance of not only revenge against the team that knocked them out at Champs, Josh, but also a chance of trying to claim the highest finish they've ever had in a tournament.
Yeah, it means so much for Leviathan, and yet they always keep running into this gatekeeper squad of Navi. The desk was talking about how Navi have had their number before in the past, and also I feel like, again, Navi are just such a barrier for Leviathan to get through. This map is such an interesting choice too. Leviathan have been second round banning it every time in this tournament so far, and it feels like for Navi, despite the fact that they're on the hunt for that second trophy, the first team that would ever do it, they're just so happy to play whatever, anything.
Really treating this tournament lock-in at Sao Paulo as a bit of a jaunt at times, honestly, as well. These pick bans across the board. Perfectly willing, perfectly willing to give away any information, but it's that contact play and a fight taking place. Space was gained there for Leviathan, using that util to clear up the angles, but traded quite effectively. And down to just Mazzino, already position known, and CNED not even offered the chance to hit any bullets.
That is the third pistol in a row that's gone the way of Navi. Think about how different map 1 could have been if they'd traded pistol rounds. If Navi hadn't been allowed to have access to a bonus buy, it could have made all the difference in this series. And when I think of top South American teams like Loud, like Leviathan, I think of excellence in the pistol and in the bonus. Leviathan have not showcased that here today. And it may end up hurting them. No force buy either. So NAVI allowed an opportunity to build the bank up early. And there are so many interesting things to talk about with these compositions. I think I want to follow up from the desk immediately though, and just the CNED Taco story.
Yeah.
We saw them go head to head in the jet battle. I think you could say that CNED came out on top there, was able to be set up by his team a little better and found a ton of value. But it wasn't the defining factor. The Raze battle here might end up being defining. We've seen both of these guys struggle a little bit more on Raze compared to their jet. And it's been a big talking point, especially with CNED.
Yeah. That was the underlying question.
How deep does his agent pool actually go? I thought we might end up seeing him on Sage here.
Exactly. Plant's going to be easily come by, so the Vita now just grouping up, making sure that they don't give away again any ult orbs unnecessarily by throwing their lives away into a lot of these Na'Vi players.
I think it's difficult when you play against Navi's buy because you really need to kill 3 players even to take a single Spectre out of their hands.
Yeah.
And it's only when you kill the 4th player that they really start dropping weapons that are really important to them. So it is going to be Leviathan just all dying to the spike here. Doesn't allow their ults to go up either. Keeps everything in stasis. And Navi's attack side with these kind of compositions, though they've never run this exact comp before, but then this idea where they're running the Omen, the Viper, the Raze, this kind of stuff, they normally play quite slowly on the attack sides. They're going to look to establish control and stop any aggression early, and then squeeze one portion of the map.
That's going to be the goal.
I think it's
Slow
going
and steady.
It's going to be quite difficult for Leviathan to get aggressive. If Taco wants to take early fights, which he usually does, over a quarter of his fights are done at the beginning of the round. I think it's going to be very hard against Navi's comp here.
Love that shot, just straight through the tiniest of gaps.
That's what Leviathan are looking to do, break through the glass ceiling.
See if they can achieve a little bit more compared to what they've done in the past. But again, running into that roadblock. Na'Vi managing their economy well again. Same talking point that we were bringing out in that previous map where they've got those rifles.
One nade from CNED here, and Shy's setup. Heaven is dismantled. King, though, finds the first. Shy's setup.
Open up. Space towards the back of Arcade. But now, cutting noise for ever so slightly. Shao knows there's a player there. Paranoia and a Satchel pushing forwards now. It's Shy who's really pushed back, and he can't quite get anything else done with it. King's going to start to feel it now. The pressure to squeeze from the players moving forwards, and he needs some relief from the rest of his team. But they're just all smoked off. Mazzino, how does he want to play this now? Just waiting for the smokes to fade. Bit of util left.
It's a great position from Shao. He's got to be hard cleared.
Has to be hard cleared. That nade, though, gives him an opportunity. It's a pop flash play. Shao wanted to get aggressive right into their faces so that he couldn't set it up. Taco, a bit of an unusual satchel. Maybe not intended, but doesn't clear too much, and they are really running down the clock, waiting for that Viper wall to go down. Still Zipan, the reposition. It's up to Sugetsu. 1v3, first shot found. 1, 2, 3! That is absurd!
Giving me flashbacks to the final play to win Masters Copenhagen. Not giving me flashbacks to the final play to win Masters.
Maybe not intended. Still Zipan, the reposition. It's up to Sugetsu. 1v3, first shot found. 1, 2, 3!
Giving me trophy lifting form. You can see it with every move like this. Moment of Pret that comes to life, and then magic like this. God, they're good.
Insanity.
And the small eyebrow lift from Ona there, I think that's all the emotion you can possibly afford to give. I mean, what can you do there? You just got to shrug and accept. Sugetsu is sometimes better. He's just better.
Yeah, Sugetsu apparently warms up for Aim Labs by playing Valorant, but
I mean, how can you not look at a play like that and just Just be amazed. Sugetsu is him.
Oh. So probably not the intended area for that Viper Orb. Good observing. Watching that one, and there was a bit of exploration from Leviathan on their weaker buy. They pushed all the way out there, trying to collapse on any player that might have just been lurking through, and really just picking up stragglers now.
And I think the other thing that bears mentioning about that play too, he doesn't do that if he doesn't have a Vandal. You know, a classic bonus round buy that sees him with a, you know, a Bulldog or a Spectre in his hand. He's not pulling that off.
No.
Navi's maintained their place at the top of the scene in terms of being great on these round 3, round 15 buy manipulations. And I don't know why other teams haven't started doing it more.
Yeah, it's given them a massive edge. It can be difficult to manage in the moment, but Navi seem to have perfected it. And it's already set them up. This is going to be an easy 4-0 lead.
And for Leviathan, this is not a great map for them. So starting out 0-4 down is rough.
Yeah, the prospects of trying to bring it to the team that, as I've said prior, as we've been hitting over and over again, knocked them out at champs, denied them that chance of breaking through that barrier. 7-8, 5-6, whatever the placement was at these global events. This was supposed to be Leviathan's time to strike. This was supposed to be the tournament where they were going to be really making a name for themselves as a contender for that top spot. And maybe they still are. Maybe they just got unlucky in this circumstance in terms of running into a team like Navi. But
it is rough. I mean,
it's rough.
Navi are just so disciplined. They never offer Leviathan opportunities to thrive in the chaos. And yeah, on Fracture, Leviathan are 3-2 all time. But against partnership teams, they're 1-2. So they've been getting their wins against tier 2 opponents in South America, honestly. And that doesn't bode particularly well. We're going to need to see fantastic performances here out of, sure, the game plan, and Owner's going to be spitting that out to King, but I'm looking more towards individuals.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to win this game when Shao has over a 2 KD and he's winning, you know, 60-70% of his duels. I don't think you're going to be able to win this game when Angel's top fragging for NAVI, doing whatever he likes. We've heard from people that have scrimmed against Leviathan that they are very dangerous. We've seen it in the server too. The players like Shai, Mazzino, Taco, King. And Nozra's had his moments, but they're falling a little flat here. So a timeout, get their heads back into it.
Yeah.
What does this look like?
Level of calm across the board here for Leviathan to try and get back into this before Navi really start to run away. So close attention going to be paid as well. Leviathan do have at least that one ultimate, the showstopper and Takalia. Could potentially do something with it. Looks like they're setting up for a bit of containment there into A halls early on, but guess what? Navi are nowhere near. They're just holding pretty far back, ensuring that there's going to be no sort of push or shove.
And this is the game plan always from Navi on this map. It's to very, very slowly, cautiously and safely take away map control from you on the attack side.
Yeah.
And it means for Leviathan they need to find their moments and pick them very precisely as to when to retake control on the defense side. If you feel like you've lost halls or you've lost arcade, you need to group up and fight it and retake that area, but when in the round do you do that? That's going to be a big challenge for King.
For Fracture, a map where, listen, the attackers can start in 4 potential positions. This double controller comp can be really suffocating. Early util. Thread the needle with that one, King. Gets the one, but traded. So the nade did push him far out of that position. Nano Swarm at the feet. Through the smoke. That's to ensure that Angel can't follow it up, but you can't with this now. Shy. One after the other. Noswell, what a swing, but again, the discipline's there, and a satchel across Mazzino. Angel just caught so unaware. Shao forced to back away.
Okay, sure. Taco using his ultimate too. Presumably that was when he was actually getting out in the first place.
Yeah, maybe a little bit earlier when the heat was turned up, but for Shao, this point, time far too low for him to clutch any sort of play. So, okay.
He's a clutch menace, but he's not winning that one.
Yeah.
A great round from Leviathan. And what did they do differently there? Well, first of all, King, under extraordinary pressure, finds the first kill. And so, despite having multiple players posted on his position, he actually gets one before he's inevitably traded. King is always dying there, but by getting one, he equalizes the situation for his team, and he gives the timing for the rest of the LEV players to swing through smokes.
Yeah, not just one kill there as well. He got a snake bite off so they couldn't follow through.
Yeah. He does a lot under immense pressure. I don't know whether he's always going to be able to give you that value, though.
And so finally, that one round that Leviathan were hoping for, hunting for. Navi this time starting to threaten from the north side of the map through Arcade. That's going to be 3 players ready and waiting. A couple of them holding in far back positions just in case there was any sort of flash play. TP though, Xiao. That's advanced, and the nade as well pushes off that angle. Nanoswarm is a response to that, so Shai doesn't want to give up that space too easily, but he is now once more going to be feeling that heat. Paranoia cuts across. Shai.
Look how Navi just take the map portion by portion, turn by turn.
Yep, the Paranoia actually fading away though, so Shai's still available, and that's a satchel across. Wow, almost being able to get 2 there, VCT. What a way to crack open the site. Linking up with the rest of his team now. Spike in the hands of Zipan. And just waiting for this one. Maybe for the Viper Wall to come back online. A bit more fuel for Sugetsu. But time is going to start to run low with this kind of pressure. 34 seconds. Almost.
Nozwa should be hunting for a duel here. I agree with this, because if he gets a kill, suddenly Breach Ult is online for retake or for plant denial.
And so here we go, nade into the corner. Stun as well, fault line pushes him back. Zipan with that plant, he got his ult online. No command, goes across, survives on 5 health as well. Is going to keep on kicking. And what is the play to be made here by Leviathan? A call is made to save.
Wow. Leviathan save more than any other team at this kind of level, but it can be heartbreaking watching them do it. 4-1 down and just giving up the 5th. Their big ults are going to start to come online here, and it is going to be more difficult for Na'Vi, but it just looks so methodical. And I think this is why a lot of people were favoring Na'Vi in this matchup. It's not necessarily because of what they've done in the past. Yes, this team has lifted a trophy, but when you watch them play at Lock-In so far, and admittedly a small sample size, the way they move around the map and take space from people, and the util combos and the peaks, it's, forgive me the hyperbole, but it's verging on perfection.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult for these opposing teams to find avenues to disrupt it. I mean, let's think about what Leviathan could do in these moments. They could try and refight, they could have some kind of trap play in an area of the map, but those are prone to going disastrously wrong. They could send somebody on big flanks, because getting rid of Sugetsu is going to really stop the attacking side, removing that Viper Wall. But again, trying to play aggressively into Sugetsu and Angel when they hold such safe positions it's hard.
Couple of shots fired though from CNED, so that's some presence towards Arcade that might just anchor those Leviathan players. You can see King was holding it, but okay. Nice little glide over to the south side of the map, keeping Sugetsu, I should say Angel, over towards the north side. A fight being taken, Boombot. I don't think it revealed too much there.
Zipan has so many of these great flashes. This kill could be everything, but Mazino doesn't quite get it.
He misses it. Just that one sightline sees it. Oh my goodness, Mazino maybe faking the jump up there. Yeah, okay. Angel though taking that space, no fear. That was a fault line cutting across. Nade down to the ground as the cage was dropped out. Angel is doing so much right now to misinformation. They don't know if he's dropped or what, but now finally revealed, and they're just being squeezed.
Counter spam.
Yeah, the counter spam. Trace is revealed. Satchel over the top, revealing that one angle. Leviathan, they do strike back.
Breach Ult as well is online.
But is it going to be enough there? Rolling Thunder pushing forwards. Need to make the most of this one. Did not catch on to Xiao. He could be the difference maker. High ground angle found, and my goodness.
He's unkillable!
Giving time for the weapon to cool down, and he takes his time with the shots. Shy left alone, 1v2, lockdown popped. Those are the players are. Found one, cannot get the second. Zipan. You said it earlier, Josh. It's really just approaching that perfection in terms of the way they play, weaving in and out, but it's heartbreaking for Leviathan. So many instances where they're just one player away, taking down that extra element to be able to take the round.
Zeno getting stuck on site though and spraying with his Vandal offers that first kill maybe a bit too easily for NAVI. And that duel there, Xiao onto King, a game changer. Xiao's had so many of those moments. This tournament, I think he's been the best player for NAVI, and he just feels unkillable in some of those spots. Xiao and Zipan both coming into this match had over 90% cast. That means there are barely any rounds where they are useless.
My goodness.
A 1-for-1 trade as Leviathan tried to apply some pressure. This is like the first time that they've actually been able to find anybody in the early moments. I suppose that takes a Viper wall down, but do they even have the weaponry to convert?
Yeah, knocked down onto the weaker buy. Look at that, just dropping the guns back. And look, they don't want to give them anything. Drop the rifle off the edge if they really wanted to, but it looks like, is that going to be the thought process? Probably not. And they wait it out. Tension builds in rounds like these. The Vietnam are going to be the ones hoping for a shining light in the dark in moments. Anything to answer back. There was a fault line and a nade play there off the contact. Cena now going to be using his own to try and clear the close angle, and guess what? Taco was caught this time. Flash fully blinded up. Nos was there. Frenzy though can only do so much. Gets the reload off though, and there's the second kill.
What a huge play by Noswa.
Quick TP pivot though. It's going to be the ultimate online. Instead, Xiao actually just trying to set up the crossfire. Gets into the site, and Shai's left with nothing but a classic.
Another moment there where King could have been a game changer. Had he got that kill onto Zipan, that could have been round over. Now it's left down to Shai once again, facing the same two players.
Zipan's weak though. One bullet will do it, but the reposition, look at this. That's so smart from Zipan. Knows that Shai's going to be claiming that weapon. Knows that his position is going to be in halls most likely, and so they set up the crossfire. High-low setup, and you just don't expect that. I mean, Zipan.
It's such an incredible off angle. And I think the final line of defense for both of these teams, they've both looked immaculate so far up until this point in the tournament. But Xiao and Zipan still look immaculate. They are winning moments so consistently against Leviathan's players who we've seen be clutch, who we've seen hit incredible shots, who've been gobbling up their side of the bracket.
Let's get this done.
But Xiao and Zipan at lock-in have been the definition of consistency. There is nobody that can make them crack.
Where is the answer from Leviathan? Oh my word. Trying to offset some of that maybe. There was spam from Cena early in these rounds, but somehow gets away with it as a kill. Viper's Pit in B main won't do too much for King because there's only one player lurking. That's Angel just on the outskirts of it. And if King tries to make a play, if he feels like he has to, Cam spots him. Spam from Angel. But they've given up so much already.
Taco is looking to try and get on a flank here. Oh, and Sugetsu just murders him over by the south side. That's my point. If you try to flank, these Navi guys are just so aware of it.
And look.
They're everywhere.
Is Leviathan feeling like they have to make a play? You got to push every single avenue. Someone's got to step up and be the hero, but it's not going to be King, not today.
Navi are battering Leviathan. Mercilessly taking them to task. And it looks like there are no win conditions.
Yeah.
This map looks like a first round matchup where things are horribly mismatched. Just Navi, the top seed, Leviathan coming in with no expectations, no ideas. Map 1 obviously didn't feel like that. Leviathan had their chances to win. Had they taken a pistol, we could have seen a very different story. But out here on Fracture, it's the same story we've seen from Navi. Their map pool is impeccable.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing everything under the sun.
5 maps in the pool now. They look immaculate on. We haven't seen their split. And they're perma-banning Haven. They used to be amazing on split too, by the way. What is this team?
And it's just trying to punish now. Anything to get that second round. Desperation, listen. Sometimes makes the most of it in rounds and moments like that. So 2 players fall.
And the spike.
Yeah, rifles in their hands on top of that. So,
but everyone's left Noswell.
Noswell's just alone there holding that angle. I mean, okay.
But this is the problem. Leviathan have gone so aggressive at the beginning of the round, pushing out Arcade, that they've given up information everywhere else, and they have no idea where Na'Vi could be. Maybe that's why they're not going for plays like this on the rifle rounds. It's only been 2 eco rounds where they've decided to push aggro out through halls, out through Arcade. It's actually getting picks. Maybe they can still convert this one. They have no idea whether Na'Vi have got the spike back, though.
Yeah, they give up that space, most likely because of those Viper walls cutting across some of the sight lines, but there we go. Spike is going to be retrieved. King solo. Jiggle peek. He does spot the players. It's going to cause that wall to go up, and guess who's close? Proximity. Taco Leah can't quite claim the shot, but King, good for the trade. Sugetsu, though, already making his moves, and he noted there's a player ready and waiting. It's King. Just not enough to do it. Still, the snakebite will bring Zippin down to his knees. Spike in their hands as well. Still, prioritizing the res there. Shy is miles away. Spike in their hands with 11 seconds left. Flash play. Navi going to be feeling the pressure here. They have to plant this.
And it's
Shy,
a risk.
yeah.
It's a risk, obviously. Shy could be Canteen, could be Generator, but he is not. And now they have a pretty good idea.
Dodging the side of it, though. Flash wasn't too good. Viper's Pit in play. It's going to make the task for Shy that much harder. He's going to try and make this 1v2 a possibility. The fast rotation all the way around, though, and time is of the essence. Not just because it's ticking down, but the decay damage as well. Turret doesn't see anything. Shy brought down to 1 health, and he's just watching the wrong avenue.
Every moment, every 50-50, every play going the way of Na'Vi. Absolutely immaculate here, 9-1. Even if Leviathan win the next 2, and the pistol and the bonus, it's still not looking like an even match. And that's one hell of a task. I love how aggressive Sugetsu is out through B main, working off the rest of that info. And Zipan forced to bow before King, but not for very long. Brought back up and allows Sugetsu to win the round. It's reactive plays working off the comms of the rest of the team. It's perfection.
Just dominating. Just dominating from Na'Vi.
Leviathan are trying to get aggressive here in halls, 3 players, but Na'Vi are happy to give. They use the clock as a resource.
And again, the first kill goes the way of CNED.
Just a reaction from the opposite side of the map once more. It is so diligent, so good from Na'Vi.
Showstopper did go wide, but these players are starting to feel it. Oh my goodness, the rocket attack. Aaliyah can't even claim a kill off of it. They want to hold on to this space, but Na'Vi have got all of it into horse. 3 players in sand to try and contest this one. Smoke blocking 1 avenue to spray down from Angel, wins the fight out, and it's Na'Vi again who do respond once more. Time and time again, and it feels like nothing can be done. Heartbreak for Leviathan. Can't quite claim even just that second round.
And the picture that was being painted from the other pros that had played against Leviathan before this tournament was, this is the time. This is the breakthrough moment for this South American squad. And instead, it feels like the same story again.
Yeah.
Fall into the gatekeepers, looking super promising, looking like one of the best teams in the tournament until suddenly, they don't.
And the dreams get shattered. Final round of the first half. It's looking all but done. Takalia, it's desperation, isn't it? Once more.
But Na'Vi have so many different looks. They've never been that aggressive in halls at that point in the round, and suddenly they are. So prepped.
Ult ready and waiting for Nosworth. Wants to try and make a play of it, but look at Na'Vi again, man. I mean, the fast play in halls, and they just cut noise.
Angel's calls are so dynamic. It doesn't matter what you see from Na'Vi. They could be doing anything. Sometimes they'll hit off the back of that. Sometimes they'll back away. Sometimes they'll cut noise, re-hit. It is impossible to tell from your perspective playing against them.
Nade at the back of King. Doesn't see a thing with the paranoia. The double satchel over the top. Oh, well, okay. Bit of a Viper difference. Rolling Thunder now, pushing forwards, but that's not the weapon for the job. None of those angles. And they're just being caught unaware. Still Mazzino makes the most of this one. The lockdown, CNED. Well, you're going to be detained, son. Pushing a little bit too far forwards there, but
do they have any idea where he is,
do they dare even hunt for him? Exactly. Because already, that's going to be fading away. And Nosworth Doesn't even catch the corner. Half clearance at best.
And Cena detained, still gets the kill.
Insanity, man. Insanity. In the midst of all of that, the clock running down and Navi get the plant.
If that isn't a microcosm of the entire map so far, I don't know what is. Just sums up everything that's been going wrong for Leviathan. Navi getting away with anything they like.
And it will have to be the ace for Mazzino to get the second round on the board. He claims the third. What more can he really do? Util flying in his face, snakebite. A little bit wide there. Desperation, isn't it? Word of the day. When you're watching a map like this, 11-1 is that scoreline from Navi. Sheer dominance. And they are just looking absolutely untested on this map. And guess what? For this halftime, we'll change things up a little bit more. Doug is down on the floor with a special guest.
Thank you, Brandon. Yeah, I'm here standing by with Suga here, and there's a lot to talk about. Suga, primero todo, a ver, que se ve mala la cosa, se ve muy fea, pero ¿qué opinas tú del partido?
La realidad es que Leviatán viene haciendo un lindo trabajo en este lock-in, pero obviamente este partido sabíamos que iba a ser difícil.
Muy difícil.
Y Navi creo que es uno de los equipos más fuertes de todo este evento y del mundo probablemente.
Sí,
así que creo que se ve difícil. Los chicos ya han tenido complicaciones frente a este mismo core cuando solía ser Fan Plus Phoenix y han tenido dificultades. Hoy se están viendo ante esta adversidad, pero de todas formas creo que en el Ascent lo hicieron mucho mejor. Acá llegaron ya con ese bajón anímico quizás después del 5K de Yao en ese Ascent, que lo vienen arrastrando todavía.
I mean, ¿qué hace? Right? ¿Qué hacen con una pela así? She says it looks rough. Unfortunately, like they've looked really good in this lock-in tournament up until this point, but it just kind of seems like they've run out of gas, and they've struggled against this core before, right? And then with Xiao's 5K, what do you really do? Todavía tenemos tiempo para una más pregunta. En tu opinión, hemos hablado de Navi, pero ¿quién crees tú que es el equipo más mejor del torneo?
Navi, sin duda, y también creo que Loud perfila probablemente para campeonar aquí de local, que estaría interesante. Si es que Leviatán no logra tomar esta oportunidad en el cambio de lados, creo que Loud es claramente un favorito.
So I asked her essentially, we've talked about Navi, but who does she think is the best team here at the tournament? And yes, we've talked about Navi, but Loud also looks incredible. Unless Leviatán can do something here at halftime to try to change the tides, it really just seems like it's going to be Navi all the way. Muchas gracias, un placer hablar contigo. We are going to throw it back to the casters to get us back into this highly anticipated second half. Bren, Sideshow, take it away.
Highly anticipated, maybe if you're a Navi fan, I think, because they are running away with it, honestly. One of the favorites coming into this event, Leviathan, they were not shying away from the gusto, saying how good they were doing in scrims. This is their time to strike, and all signs were pointing towards it until now.
And Navi, the dominance that they have showcased in this tournament so far, I thought this was going to be a blockbuster match, two heavyweights, and Navi have dismissed one of the top contenders from the Omega bracket. If they can do this here, what can't they do? A Navi on for the second trophy? We have never seen a team lift 2 trophies in Valorant. I'm getting that feeling from this squad.
Of course, don't forget about the other contenders on the other side of the bracket. Loud still in it, but...
Loud, DRX, Fnatic, 100 Thieves, these are all big hitters. But I would have said the same for Leviathan. And look what Navi are doing to them. It's not even fair.
They look so ready. So, taking up all that space now. King not messing around, moves forwards, and he's just running straight through the snakebite, hoping for any sort of timing there. Mazzino, 2 shots from the clip. Enough with the classic, but Sugetsu is that final boss, holding it down. The last layer of defense, and the spike drop down into tower. Triple re-push, Shy with everything to do here. Takes his time with it, and he is rewarded with the 2 kills, so maybe winnable though. Still, Taco put in such a hard position. First one's found, but does he anticipate this? Sugetsu, the reposition, moves to one side. No utility to his name. Still, crosshair placement is good for it, and okay. A pistol round claim for Leviathan, and it's a Red Bull clutch.
the barest breath of life for Leviathan, but at least they've picked up 1 out of 4 of the pistols in this series. I think it made a massive difference on Ascent. I don't think the same can be said here on Fracture, can it?
Enemy remaining.
Unless we're going to see both of these teams be absurdly attacker-sided. But I think those kind of tales, they're only in stories. It would be an absolute fairy tale, dream come true if Leviathan were able to mount a comeback of this kind of magnitude.
Yeah,
Na'Vi are so firmly in control. And you heard the Des talk about it, this one-way in Halls, it's not actually dead, but it's not as good as it used to be before. And that's why we weren't expecting Omen to be run.
Oh my goodness.
But it's not even going to be challenged. Na'Vi, Angel looking like he's found the fountain of youth once more.
And this is just the Sheriff buys to add a bit more danger into a round that otherwise should have been easy taking for Leviathan. It's forced them to slow down for a moment. Got to wait for that util to fade.
It would be almost poetic.
Zagetsu!
It would be
oh, no.
almost poetic if Na'Vi were able to win this one.
The players are scrambling. Doubled up here. Flash around the corner. A lot of damage being done, and they have just collapsed onto them. Oh my word.
The mechanics from Na'Vi, impeccable. The way they fight together, unbelievable. And their utility pressure, way too much for Leviathan. Na'Vi will spot him a pistol, but that's all they're getting here.
Seems like it. No more buffer room. No more room for error at all. It's 1 round, that's all that stands between Na'Vi taking it in 2 and looking like one of the dominant favorites, heading deeper and deeper into the Sao Paulo lock-in tournament.
They're the South American Slayers, aren't they? They just seem to run into and knock out Crew, Leviathan every time we have a big tournament like this. The read that Doombros and Angel have is just too powerful.
Credit to the rest of the coaching staff as well on Na'Vi.
Absolutely.
Spike's going to be dropped down onto that north side. Of course, no other option other than to force up into this one, but you've already lost a player, King falling.
Yeah, King had to be so far out because of that Omen one-way again. CNED has been looking great here on the Rays too. Not really required to put on his best game, but he's been consistently good, and that's another part to the puzzle, right? We were wondering, we had questions about that.
Yeah.
And CNED has just answered them here.
So an exchange there of the IGLs in this round as Angel and King have fallen to Getsu. The smoke deep. Mizzino's playing inside of this one. Nade into the back, that's going to be pushing him forwards. Mizzino trying to take the space and a bit of running gunning. Why not? Does the job at the end of the day. Still, fight's not done yet. Job's not finished. Oh, the lockdown nade has pushed them straight into Zipan. And if there was any hope in hell of trying to claim this round, it might have just been finished. Locking it away, it's got to be Takulia for any hope of continuing in this tournament. And he just opens himself up wide across a placement not ideal, paranoia. And he can feel it. No chance in hell. It's Na'Vi taking it 13-3.
Insane performance from Na'Vi, a statement match. They came out here and slapped Leviathan around on map 2 after beating them on their home turf of Ascent. You couldn't make more of a statement to showcase that Na'Vi are on their hunt for a second trophy.
This is a team that is not worried at all about showcasing strategies, different looks on different maps. They've come into this tournament with a different level of confidence. Almost like their goal primarily hasn't even been to get that trophy. It's just been, listen, show everybody how scary we really are. We want to take the challenge. We want to give people opportunities to counter Stratus.
Yeah, and I love watching this team. Leviathan impressed me so much with what they showed earlier on in the tournament. And I'm going to be highly anticipating their matches in the Americas League when they challenge teams like their South American rivals Loud and big heavy hitters like NRG from the North American side of things. But frankly, today they were outclassed. And I think that there's still clearly more to do for this Leviathan squad if they want to be a title contender. Na'Vi just showed them the gap between where Leviathan are at and what you need to lift a trophy. My word, impeccable perfection from Na'Vi today.
A few more steps, of course, until that trophy does get lifted. But for today, It is NAVI who reigns supreme, dethroning King, knocking him out of the tournament. They are going to be moving one step closer, of course.
And I think the teams that are playing later on today have got to be scared of this. I know that, you know, you've got another EMEA super team on the other side of the bracket and North America's last hope. But NAVI have taken every team and ground them into dust. Xiao's barely died.
Yeah.
There are some players that might have died more in one series than he has the entire tournament so far. I mean, don't hold me to that, but I feel like it could be true.
This NAVI squad is just showcased over and over again now that it doesn't matter how many levels to their play you take away. You know, you remove Angel, he's often the first death, not that it matters too much. CNED, whatever, it doesn't matter. Listen, they've got those heavy hitters waiting at the sidelines, at the back, right behind them, ready to trade. Tagetsu, Xiao, Zipan, it doesn't matter.
I also think you've got to give credit to Angel because he hasn't let his team down in any of these moments. The calls have been outstandingly good. His control over the team is wonderful too. The way that he's molded CNED over the last 4 months into being much more of a disciplined player that still has the flair. And then NAVI have got all the individual fragging from everybody, including Angel. He's out there popping heads against some of the scariest players in the world.
Yeah, found some serious firepower. That's what's going to be awaiting a lot of teams as well as we, you know, set up that second series of the day as well, because they've got that to look forward to.
I thought we were going to be witness to an all-time matchup here today, and instead, wow, NAVI just put on a clinic.